I can't believe that this game went past my radar. At first, when I looked at the screenshots here, I thought that it was like a mod of or ripoff or City Skylines, but actually it's not. It's a completely new game made in Unreal Engine. And look at those large fields here. That's actually really crazy. It's imagine a mix of City State and City Skylines and Transport Fever and maybe Factorio at the same time. And there we have Highrise City, a mix of pretty much everything all combined together. Here they say that Highrise City offers a new spin on the city simulation and tycoon games, expanding on the economy and resource management aspect. Experience a modern take on the genre, enriched with a complex resource-based economy system. And this really caught my interest here. So we're gonna have a look at how it looks like first. Do we have maybe a little... Can we have a look at the full video, please? There we go. Now look at the scale of those cities. It's incredible. I like the road signs as well. But the roads, I gotta say that the roads kind of seem a little bit like an afterthought, so that's my biggest worry here. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. It also doesn't look that great, not necessarily on par compared to Transport Fever or Cities Skylines, but at the same time, I don't think that it's the point. I think that the point of this game is more the scale of what it can do and the economy. Hello, Amiral Gorfers. How's it going here? Let's have a look at Highrise City before we talk about Star Citizen. Let's have a look at this again. 3. Come on, you can do it, computer. It's loading. It's always like that. We want to see the full screen, not the little vignette. Come on, you can do it here.
On updating the lighting and color grading. All the footage.
What I like is that we can see the little characters here. They look far less cartoonish than what we see in City Skylines. This is looking more on par with Transport Fever. I like the beautifully modeled vehicles as well. That's actually a very nice take, and that's where you see that we're looking here at a next generation city builder, which we haven't seen for a long time. I think that the City Skylines was released 7 years ago, and there hasn't been much ever since, apart from maybe City State and City State 2. But again, graphically speaking, I mean, City State doesn't even have curved roads, which is off-putting for a lot of city builders.
What you see in this video is from an older build, but let's take a short glimpse at how the game looks right now.
Alright, let's have a look. Of course, it looks a little bit cartoonish, I gotta say, but it's really hard to get something photorealistic when it comes to city builders. I think that the last really photorealistic city builder that there was Cities XL, but Cities XL was plagued with a lot of performance issues as a result. So it's a design choice that those game developers have to choose eventually, especially if you have to deal with cities of that scale. I mean, what's the scale of the city, you may ask? Well, here we're talking about. Remember SimCity 2013 when the cities were 1 kilometer square? Well, in Highrise City, the cities are 198 kilometers square. It is huge. It's basically 2 times the size of Paris. Even more. It's more than 2 times the size of Paris. That's how big those cities are in Highrise City. It's insane. And the scale is very impressive indeed.
Feel free to tell us how you like it.
Now, there's one thing that, as I said, I'm a bit worried about. These are the roads. Those roads look really weird. Why aren't there any separators here between the 2 sides of the road? That's so weird. I mean, in which country are roads like this? Maybe in even in Germany. I've been to Germany many times. I've never seen roads like this. So they've got to work on their roads. For me and for a lot of people who are interested in city builders, building roads is like the most fun aspect of those games. That's why City Skylines has been so successful. That's why Transport Fever 2 is so successful as well, because they have a very solid road mechanic. Even though roads are not the main part of their game, well, for City Skylines, yes, but still, you have your own game mechanics around the economy. That's great, but you also have to think about the perennity of your game, how to keep your game running with a large fan base over a large period of time. And you got to give the people what they want. They want roads. They want roads.
In the comments below. Now buckle up, we are diving into laws and research. To pass any law, a courthouse needs to be built in your metropolis. On completion, you'll get access to all
Okay, so that's the courthouse here, which is going to allow people to build to have laws. That's very important in this game. There's always been laws, and SimCity 4 had that. Not SimCity 3013, but especially in a game like City State, it's very important because it really gives the direction towards which your city is going to. Plus, at the same time, you're going to have expenses but benefits, or you're going to have drawbacks but profits. So you're gonna have to weigh the pros and the cons, and that's also a very interesting part of these kind of games, that the whole decision making and the impact that your decisions have.
Way. Laws are your tools to quickly react to something going on in your city.
Look at that. Another. Then we have more crossroads. I like that we have these production facilities in the middle of the city. It's very interesting. You can definitely see the difference between industrial zones and more residential areas. I like that very much. I wonder what's the point here of this fence. I wonder if we can actually create parks in the game that are going to have fences. That's something that I'd like to see very much. Anyway, full screen is not working so well, so we're gonna see
scaled and
like
overarching decision. Quick rule of thumb.
Okay, can we have a look here? Again, a bigger look at some of the laws here. So we have military police, which is what we saw here. We saw some of the military vehicles. Control, medical center, vaccination duty, of course, healthcare costs, smoke detector program, a classic in the city building game. Okay, so far nothing too out of the extraordinary. I've got to say, and this is also something that people have been saying in comments, the UI the UI looks very old school, to say the least. I would prefer a UI that looks a little bit modern, but again, it's not necessarily the main point of the game. But when you play city builders, you get to interact a lot with the UI, so it would be nice if they could work on that a little bit. I like the wish list now here. Fun little Easter egg. Anyway, let's continue.
A law will either cost or generate money. You can pass or revoke them however you please. You're the mayor of the city at the end of the day. So let's get to it.
Just like in any city builder game.
Legalizing gambling, for example, would bring casino operations to your city, and with them a shiny new stream of consistent revenue. But sadly, it would also bring a rising wave of crime with it. Is taking the cash and investing in a police station or two to outweigh the negative effect worth it? Well, that's your decision.
Okay, there's the police station right there. Let's see how it looks like. You got the American police cars, and it looks like a very basic building. I love the fact that you can actually see, people, little animation. It looks like they're talking outside. I love the sense of details. I think that when you're looking at city builder games, details are very important, because you want to feel that your city is alive. When you're playing these games.
After all. The ordinance on air quality forces your industry to raise their environmental standards, resulting in less pollution. Since a lot of production facilities emit pollution, a change of 15% on a bigger scale makes a really big impact, resulting in higher levels of citizen satisfaction and more utilizable residential space.
Alright, let's have a look at how a city looks like in this game. As I said, they do have curved roads, but it does seem like having grids like this seems like the most effective way of running the city. But I've seen pictures. I'm going to have a look at more screenshots later. You can actually place... Roads are off-grid, so you don't need to be placing your cities like that. Did you notice that there are a lot of buildings inside a single block? Like the tiny little streets here are actually procedurally generated. So these are tiny little streets that you're not going to have to micromanage as you build your city. And I think that's great, because it's always annoying to fill in the gaps between your roads and the buildings that you want to cram as many buildings as possible. And here it looks like the game is doing that for you, and that's something that I personally appreciate.
But it will also cost a hefty amount of money to keep this ordinance in place. Is this a bad time to tell you that the cost of laws will scale with the amount of citizens living in your metropolis? Now you've slowly come to realize that laws are a pretty big money sink, but they're well worth the cost, since they can
Oh, well, what's wrong with...
greatly influence the way your city is shaped.
Here we can see one of those roads here. See, they're not. You don't have to make straight roads here. Again, I know I'm nitpicking here. Hey guys, for me, roads are very important, so that's why I'm having a look at that. But if you have also any other main concern when it comes to city buildings, you know, a favorite aspect of the genre, well, let me know in the comment section down below.
You could, for example, declare your city a nuclear-free zone, resulting in a ban for the construction of...
Look at the scale. I'm actually quite mind blown by the view here, the sense of details. That is definitely looking much better than City Skylines, especially the buildings look really up to scale, and they really look very high compared to the cars down there and the little characters. It is very impressive looking indeed.
New power plants and the decommissioning of existing...
Look at that! They even have a little transformator here with all these little these little cables, and that is awesome.
ones, in exchange for a bit of overarching citizen happiness. Pretty major decision, but you're the mayor in the end. Now you have the choice between less effective renewable energy sources or some based on fossil fuels that will cause pollution during their operations. Alternatively, you could...
Look at that, we even have the little logo on the wind turbine. This is very well detailed, I'm gonna say. That's where this game looks like, you know, next generation city building game.
New ways of energy production. Put your research center down in order for your scientists to start working. To conduct research on new topics, research points are required.
Now that's something that we've seen a lot in recent city building games, the whole research aspect. You're not gonna have access to all types of buildings or production facilities or bonuses unless you research them. And I think that this really, it's not just about money, it's not just about population having a certain growth, but also what you're doing with it. And I think that this brings a little bit of extra depth in those games, and I'm glad that they bring this here in Highrise City.
Also automatically accumulate whenever your city reaches a new milestone. Each milestone is tied to a specific number of citizens of one tier living in your city. Unlocking a milestone will give you access to new buildings, features, and of course research points. Research is laid out like...
So let's have a look at how it looks like here. So you can have plantations, bigger farm space, farms with less workers. I forgot an S here. Fertilizer. Okay, so that is very, very detailed. My goodness. That is very detailed. That's going to be a huge time sink to try to complete the whole tech tree. Incredible. I wonder if this is going to be applying for all your cities, because there's going to be regions as well, apparently. So I wonder if this is going to be applying to all your cities, or if you're going to have to do it again all over each time you build a city.
Like a branching tree. To progress further in this tree, you'll always need to unlock the corresponding branch of research on the left-hand side first. Looking a bit deeper into the research tree.
Okay, let's look a little bit deeper here. Okay, there's even more. So the more you unlock, the more you get. Close tax loopholes. Funny.
One topic that strikes the eye is road grid. Placing
Yes.
a road opens up new space for buildings. Always 5 squares deep, respectively 6 for super big roads. Unlocking this upgrade will add 1 more row of building space per street.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so... Hello, Brad. So before we talk about Star Citizen, you know, I have a second channel that I have to feed, and this is Highrise City. It's coming up on March 25th of this year, and it is the next generation of city builders, and I gotta say that it looks very
Allowing you to
impressive.
build even more densely. Having this technology
Look
available
at this.
will entirely change how you lay out your city.
That is really, really huge.
End
You've
of
been
each
playing
branch
a lot of Motor Town, and you're having a lot of... I don't even know what
Architect
Motor
models
Town
will
is,
go into
Brad, and
research
I gotta
and
check it out. Yeah, my internet is being a little bit slow because Star Citizen
One
is
of those
running on the side.
technologies is the fusion power plant. Wait, weren't we looking for a suitable replacement for the decommissioned nuclear plants?
Oh, it's early access. Yeah, this one is also going to be early access, so you're going to be able to see how the game develops and progresses, and there's still going to be enough time to give suggestions to the developers. So it's pretty much the same deal. Yeah.
Fusion energy doesn't cause any pollution.
Yeah,
It's
just
very
like in
efficient
SimCity
and
4,
will
fusion
not be
energy,
affected by
but
all laws already set in place. Time to savor the sweet
I think
fruits
Bride of
scientific
Wealth, but with
research for
supercharged
building it,
camera. Oh
giving our
my.
city a big boost in energy. Today's main takeaway is the strong connection between laws and research. Both influence each other in some parts or are inseparably interwoven into others. Research resembles overall
Look at those farms here, by the way. The huge farms. That's something that's missing in a lot of city building games. Obviously, SimCity 4 doesn't have that. Farms in City Skylines are not satisfying as well.
progression, giving you access to changes to core gameplay features or major improvements. Laws, on the other side, are pretty cache intensive and more reactionary in their nature. That's it for this episode, builders.
Very impressive, very impressive. So, when is it coming out? As we said before, March 25th. So, really, really soon, I will be getting it and I will be playing it on the channel so you guys can check it out. And so, don't forget to please hit the subscribe button and the like button to help also the channel out. And we can be sure that we're going to have more of this game coming up really soon. It looks very impressive. As I said, the only positive constructive criticism I would have would be maybe the roads. They need to improve their roads, in my opinion. It would be great to have countryside roads as well, just for the aesthetics, because when we play this game, we like our cities to look good as well. Anyway, guys, that's all for this quick video. Highrise City coming up really soon. Really excited about this one. It's the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.
A huge shout out to everyone who's been helping me out on Patreon and via the YouTube Joint Membership program. Creating content on YouTube involves continuous circles of ups and downs, and it is when we are the lower parts of the curve that your help really motivates me to keep on going. Your contribution really does make a difference, which is why in return I try to give back by offering backers access to my private Discord channel, automatic access to exclusive giveaways, or answering your questions during the show. You can help me out with as little as $1 a month, and any help is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching again. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.